All right, this is Mike Ward and Darren Griffith from Village Runner. It's April 23rd, 2018. I don't know why we do the date exactly, but whatever, keeping it real. Anyway, today we're going to talk about setting a realistic goal in running the marathon. So there's a few things. I mean, one thing to possibly take into account is just your history of running. If you've run a marathon, then you can use that as a base. Obviously, if you've never run a marathon, that may be tough. I know you've run LA. You did it.
I ran LA once. It was 4:30.
Okay, and we're going to get to that a little later. Darren would like to run LA again in 3:59, correct?
In 59 seconds, yes.
Okay. So anyway, so to that, there's a ton of things. Like I said, you can lose weight. There's mileage. We're going to be talking about next week. Most people probably don't run enough mileage. Some actually run too many. And then get injured, but we'll talk about that next week. Anyway, one thing I came across online was, as far as setting a realistic goal, is this thing called a Race Time Predictor. Now, this thing is really cool. You can find it at Runner's World, but it will be available at villagerunner.com. We'll have a link for you sometime in the near future, hopefully by noon. Anyway, so the Race Time Predictor is cool. So basically, I just ran a 5K in 22:15. We're live here, so ignore the phone. Anyway, how long is the race you're planning on running? So a marathon is what our goal here. What's the race that you recently ran? The 5K. You can also do a 10K or a half marathon. Quite honestly, I think obviously the longer the distance, the half marathon, or the 10K or half marathon. I just haven't run anything longer than a 5K in about 5 years, so that's what I'm rolling with for now. So anyway, I recently did one in 22:15. So the optional, how many miles a week you run on average. So this is a little bit questionable. This is what I want to get up to while training, and it's a little high. I don't know. Have you ever run 60 in a week?
It would have been a long time ago.
Yeah. So anyway, I've even gone 80 or 90, but that's for next week's. Anyway, so based upon my current 5K time, basically I should be able to run a marathon at 3:38:01. That's if I'm putting in some big miles. So honestly, I don't even know if I could run a marathon if I had to tomorrow. It'd be tough to hit the 26 miles. So one cool thing about this is you can plug in numbers, frontwards, backwards, whatever. It's totally cool. It's like I've actually, even back when I was in really good shape when I was younger, I put some times in. It's kind of cool to see what you could have been. Anyway, so Darren's goal of 3:59. Speaking of reversing it, I basically reversed it out for. Like just that you want to run a 5K to just give yourself a barometer. Like I said, you could do this with the 10K or the half marathon as well. And anyway, so how long you plan to run? Just say 5K. What's the race that you've recently run? The marathon. You ran it in 3:59. Like I said, I reversed this. It's kind of hypothetical, right? So basically 24:55. What's good about this is if you really want to, if you can't run a 5K in like 25 minutes, basically, you're probably not going to run a sub 4-hour marathon. So it's a good barometer of fitness.
I could pull that off.
So there you go. So Darren can absolutely run a 3:59 marathon. Okay, so I did the same thing for myself. I want to do, now history, I'm fairly certain I could do a 2:59, but 10 years ago I did a 2:50. So I'm hoping I can do that. But anyway, I know there's no way in hell I'm running an 18:40 at this point. A year from now, I hope to do that. I mean, that's like 6 minutes and some change per mile. It's pretty fast. Anyhow, so that's it. I think if you go to this race predictor thing, you could have a lot of fun with it and try to predict what you potentially could run a marathon in. Okay, so we're on to next week. Or Darren, would you like to say anything about this?
I think that covered it. Just play with the predictor and see how you match up. See if the numbers that you're doing currently can come close to your hoped for time for the marathon. And adjust accordingly.
Sure, and you can even, if you do a 5K, pop your time in and then do a 10K and just see how accurate this is. There's a lot of different variables, but I have found this to be somewhat accurate for myself. Anyway, so on the next week, we're basically going to talk about something that's really important as far as running a marathon. It's basically increasing your mileage, essentially proceed with caution, listen to your body, and don't get injured. We know that all too well. Darren,
I'm a little ginged up right now, yeah, but that's...
And
not from training, unfortunately.
So anyway, hopefully we'll see you next week and we can talk about mileage.